So here we have bag off. I'm just going to get started on bag off. I did upgrade to the 62mm RC Max clutch setup and a vertical plate to go along with it. I'm sticking to the 1823 gear set, stock gear set, at least for break-in. And maybe once it's broken in, I might bump up the gearing depending on what I do with the track. But so I got to sort this out between stock and upgrades. So that's next. So I wasn't exactly sure what the upgrade was going to involve with up to the vertigo, but you definitely see the some of the bearing mount bosses are definitely a lot beefier, especially this one right here. And then as you can see, there's quite a difference in clutch bell sizes between the stock and the upgrade. It almost sits right inside of it. Hopefully that works out. Here's a quick update on the converting of these transmissions over. Now looking at it closer, there's definitely, the Vertigo's got a, like I said, a wider boss, but it's also got a bearing on either side to accommodate that heavier clutch bell. And then this is the original Vertigo, or the original Kraken, and it's only got the one bearing in there. There is, when you go slide this in here, there's a little collar between inside and outside bearing. You gotta get lined up just perfectly so this thing will slide through. After that, it pops right in. I tell you, RC Max and Taylor, they do one hell of a good job on machining. Excellent, nothing like excellent quality. There's an update on the build on this stage with the clutches and the clutch and the transmission. When doing a slipper clutch, that gets eliminated on assembly because it's already installed in a vertical blade. Everything else seems to be okay. And you definitely don't want to put that on before you do it because you can't get it through the bearing. It's already on there. So once you get ready to start assembling the transmission, this step and this step here get eliminated, and you go to Vertigo's their directions. So you're eliminating stock pinion gear, that bearing, which is already supplied by Vertigo, that lock washer, clutch shaft, and this gear assembly, and that bearing is also eliminated because that's already from Vertigo. And it's pretty clear in their directions. So make sure you put the Belleville or the cone washers, conical washer in the right spot. Other than that, I assume you want to Loctite that assembly there. But other than that, everything seems to fit together real well. I wasn't sure how tight to go on the slipper clutch, so I just put this thing, the tightening nut down so its face is flush with that shoulder inside there, so the bearing goes in. The bearing is catching, the inner race is catching that shoulder and not hitting on this. I might have to go tighter than that, but it looks pretty flush there. And I can at least assemble it and adjust it later on. So here's the assembled transmission with the vertical upgraded clutch plate, the 62mm upgraded RC Max clutch bell. I think it went together pretty well. Definitely a credit to RC Max, Vertigo, and Kraken. These parts all fit really well. The only issue is a couple of shafts I had to put in the lathe and just kind of burnish them a little bit to get the black oxide off to get the race to slide down on there. But get them to the point where you just kind of tap them on real lightly, not beat them in place. But you need some kind of friction fit there. So off to bag G, which I believe is the uprights, I guess. Bag G is now complete, and it gives a lot of the chassis assembly, the transmission's put in there, and the frame brace is placed in there. I think it goes together really well. There's really no other issues. I mean, some minor deburring from time to time, but overall this kit's been extremely well done, well executed. Manuals are really well done, and put a lot of time into these manuals. I can tell you, I do some CAD myself, and I know how this shit goes. The machining on all these parts is really good. The vertical stuff's really good. RC Max. So we're getting closer. Bag H, which I believe is the battery box, is next. I do plan on in the future doing a video of fabricating a different battery receiver box on some aluminum diamond plate. But for now, I'm going to probably put together with a stock setup. So there it is. It's coming together. Box H is done, and it consists of the receiver slash battery box and the switch and all that. It's definitely there's definitely an issue with the size in there I'm going to have to deal with. It doesn't integrate the servo mounts in the back, so I got some aluminum diamond plate. I'm going to try to fabricate something up that's going to be, I guess, try to get some more height. But I guess I'm going to deal with the swinging servo arm. But this will do for now. I got a little 6200 Spectrum I'm going to put in there. I got it because it's small. I'm familiar with it from my LSE. It interfaces with my radio well. So we should be able to fit that in there. But and this is a 7,000 milliamp, I believe, LiPo from BDM. So it's packed in there. And I gotta get the kill switch in there too somewhere, to light for it. Because I want the dynamite ones. But so bag I is next, and a lot of that's gonna be up in arms because it's some engine interface stuff, and then I'm not sure I'm gonna work through that. So bag H is completed. It involved the battery slash receiver box and the mounting of the servo. I haven't put the servo on there yet, and actually bag I steps show it being mounted to the chassis, so I kind of jumped ahead a little bit. But the this battery box is a little on the small side. Now if it's just a battery, no problem, or maybe a battery and a triac board from a kill switch, but when you stick the e-stop in, or the receiver in there, it's a little crowded. So, I mean, this is a 7,000 milliamp LiPo, and you can see it's pretty crowded in there. And I'm not sure what's up with the pulsating LED light. But now to get a receiver in there and a kill switch and an LED for the kill switch, it's going to be kind of tight fit. So I'm thinking about either maybe leaving this box as is and then making a receiver box to stick up in this corner here, or I'm going to refabricate this box out of aluminum diamond plate. Maybe I probably have to come out because I don't think I can go up in height, because I think there's going to be an issue with the servo swinging around there. So that'll be a future project to upgrade that. But yeah, something's got to be done with that, because that's definitely a little on the tight side. So bag H is done, and all I'm going to be using out of the, actually I believe that's bag I. This is going to be the receiver slash battery box, and the engine mounts, and I'm going to hold off on that. That's bag J, and I'm going to move right into bag K, which is the axle. So this is going to be bag K here, and it's going to start with this axle. It's definitely the high points of this vehicle design, is this cool axle. It must be a casting, like a sand cast of some sort. Nonetheless, I got this to go on there, so it definitely gives a unique look versus like a LSE or a Rover or a Red Cat or something like that. We'll see how this goes. I did a little correction about bag J. Turns out bag J also attaches a front clip to the chassis. I'm still going to hold off on that. But one thing I want to note is, like, what I really like about these kits is how they've done a good job on this. You get to something like this, you got a whole bag of parts, and you still look at the manual, and the first section here, I mean, it's pretty clear what you're supposed to do. They got structure, so even a moron like me can figure it out. So bag K is done, and it's probably the most involved bag of most bag of the whole project, actually. It gives you the axle and all the links and shocks. I did swap out Vertigo with that and these side pieces, the tail RC on the back cover, and I did get I think it's from Wheelman Designs, these inserts, they're metal heim joints. I'm going to replace all these heim joint eventually, but I believe it was Wheelman Designs that makes a whole set of that, but they were out of stock. So I did get out of sequence and assembling this thing a little bit. I want to do all the sub-assemblies and bring it all together at one time. So that's probably going to be the next step, is to do that. So all in all, everything, all these parts come together really well.